So, rightly said, Prashant ji. I am Dhoti Vikramaditya. I am now the chairman of the Bihar Wind Society, and I have been in this field in electronics system design and manufacturing field since many years, more than 20 years now. So I came back to India in Patna and started my own. So the topic which I have been chosen, that is electronic system design and manufacturing. It's a very common one. This system we have selected because of the factors, many factors. Like here in India, people don't go for the electronics hardware. They have fear of working on hardware, and that is why we are lacking in manufacturing, because we don't design electronic system, so we don't go for manufacturing also. Since we are not going for manufacturing, so India is lacking in manufacturing field, and India is not producing a good product. So this is the main problem, that India is not becoming, the superpower in the field of electronic system design. So without developing product, we cannot sell into the market. Till that time, we are just buying some products from China, Japan, Korea, USA, Germany. We are just buying it and selling. So reselling process is more, but we are not manufacturing. So for this problem, that we are not into the manufacturing, I thought to say everyone that how the very basic one that how electronic system can be designed and how it can be in manufacturing, what are the tools available, and how is designing and manufacturing is simple, where the electronics engineers lacks. That these things will be covered in today's webinar. First, in the first PPT, this topic is very simple: electronic system design and manufacturing. Certainly, we will be covering electronic system, and it will be divided into two parts: design and manufacturing. So, design, how it will be designed, so what are technology involved in designing process, and the second thing, what is the manufacturing, and what are the technologies and processes for manufacturing of the electronic system. So before I say electronic system, so what is system? We should understand first the system. The system is something in which we give input and some processing is going on, and then output will come. So some processing will be going on, means in that processing will be going on means what is the way of working, what kind of organization, what kind of organizing things we have, what kind of tasks you have given to the processor, and according to the fixed plan. So you can say that a system is a way of working, organizing, or doing one or many tasks according to a fixed plan or program or set of rules. In a very simpler way, you can also say that the system where processing is being done, if you give some input, it will come out some output. So for coming out the output, you have to do some processing. This is called system. And in the other ways, if you make a one system, sometimes you have to club many systems into one system. Suppose you have one system working somewhere else, you have some other systems also, they are working somewhere else. You want to club it all. So system is also called the arrangement in which all units assemble and work together according to the plan or program. So now this thing we have, I told you program and plan. Here comes out something, the source code. You can write down the plan or program, how systems should work. How systems should work, a set of work you write in a program. It will be written in many languages. That depends upon that depends upon the selector, that what kind of language is required. So in a very simple way, you can say that in a system you have to write a program. People used to say there's a source code in the language of C, in the language of VLSI, in the language of VC++, VC++, Java. Anything can be done in the system. If you give an input, system will process either by writing some programs or by writing without any programs, only hardwares, and it will give you the output. So system, in the system we will organize, system is a set of programs where every fixed plan will be organized according to the plan you have fixed it. Now, in a more moderate way, what is system? Like what's the ghari, watch. In the watch, the watch displays time. It has a hardware, it has a needle, it has a battery, it has a dial, it has chassis. All things are there inside. Which is a mechanical system. You can say that it has a mechanical system: needles, battery, dial, chassis. What are the rules? I said that system is having some rule. What is the rule? Rule is all needles move clockwise only. So one rule. Second rule is a thin needle rotates every second. Long thin rule rotates every minute. Then it comes to hour. So there are 3 needles for second, minute, and hour, and every needle goes on the fixed rule of having 30 seconds comes out, 60 seconds comes out, then 1 minute. If 60 minutes, one minute goes for 60 minutes, it will become 1 hour. So it is something. These are the rules on which system works. Similarly, if you go for a digital watch, what is say that in the digital watch there is electronic system and mechanical system. Electronic system, I will tell you little later on what is electronic system, but simple watch is only a mechanical system. But the digital watch is having both electronic system and the mechanical system. Upper one, like needle, battery, and chassis are the mechanical system, but there is an electronic system involved that I will cover a little later on. Now come to washing machine. Washing machine is what? Is an electronic clothes. Like here you put your clothes, and this is a system where the rules are what? Rules are wash by spinning, drying, wash over by blinking. These are the steps. If you put your clothes inside the washing machine, then these are the set of rules on which washing machine works. Sometimes there is automatic clothes system, washing system. Wherever there is automatic, so mechanical things will not automate. Wherever there is automatic things, means electronic system will be involved. So you can say the system which are not automatic, or there are 3 kinds of washing machine these in the market. One is you put your clothes inside. After drying and all mechanical system, all the set of rules, you have to take out your clothes from the washing machine and then put it somewhere in the dryer. So this is a complete manual system. Second is the automatic system, where you have nothing to do it. Automatically it will be washed, automatically it will be dried, and if you take out your cloth outside, then you will get your clothes outside of the system, and put your clothes outside within 10-15 minutes. It will be good. It will be okay. So what I'm saying, that wherever there is an automated kind of thing, electronic systems are involved. So here also the complete system will be electronics as well as the mechanical system. So these days all the products are the combinations of many systems and technologies. You may require the knowledge of electrical engineering, electronics engineering, mechanical engineering, facets of physics, chemical engineering, computer engineering, knowledge of mathematics and other subjects. Like if you are designing a product, so you need a knowledge of every subject, because without this system will not work. I said in the washing machine example, if you don't have a knowledge of the mechanical engineering, you cannot design a washing machine box. If you don't have a knowledge of electronics engineering, your automatic system will not run. If you don't have a knowledge of physics, you cannot say that how it will be, what temperature you want to increase and what temperature you want to put your clothes inside. So there is a knowledge of thermal physics and all. So you can say if it's a programmed one, then knowledge of computer engineering is required. So any product, I'm not saying that all knowledge are required in every product, but before designing the product, you should have the knowledge of many things, many technology and many subjects. Now here you see, these are the electronic system example. Here box are mechanical one. This is our product. In this box are mechanical. We have designed the box. So designing box is mechanical design. But inside the system is a complete electronic system. This is the power inverter, servo stabilizer. This is the power inverter. This is the battery charger. These are the power products. So you can say that there is a hardware inside, electronics hardware inside. So if you say the electronic system example, then certainly there is a mechanical thing. Outer box is always mechanical, but inside our box is maybe the electronics circuit. So now the electronic circuit you can divide into two parts, hardware circuits and software. So if you talk about electronic system design examples in the form of hardware inside, there are two kinds of electronic systems. One is the circuit which is only hardware. Only the circuit is only of hardware plus software. We'll talk little about later on, but this first example is only of hardware. You see the power supply circuit. Here there is a transformer. This is saying this transformer, one transformer, or this is a bridge rectifier circuit. It has the second one. It is the capacitor, and this is the IC which regulates the voltage of the circuit, and this is the output. These are the hardwares. On the piece of the paper, this kind of design you have to make for transformer. This is transformer. And this is the rectifier, four capacitors have to be joined for rectifier, for rectifying the circuit. So, but here this is capacitor, and this is the 7805. This is 7805. Here it is 7812. No issue at all. Both are the same, but it will give a 12 volt output, and this will give 7805 will give only 5 volt output. So this is the complete circuit. If you join, these are the wires. These are the connecting wires, and it plays very important role in hardware design. I will let you know in the later PPT. It plays very important. All these are the wires. This plays very important role. So after this is the input. Here I say the system is having input. So here this side is the input, AC input. You are giving AC input, those 220 volt. And here you are getting 12 volt output, 1 ampere. And this part is a processing part. So there is input, there is a output, and this part is a processing part where you have designed the circuit. The circuit is based on only the hardwares. So you can say that in electronic circuit, some circuits are based only on hardware. Now come back. This circuit, the second example, this is a box. This is one product, electronic bell. The main working of the electronic bell is to ring the bell on the fixed time given by you. But here you put the time. Suppose ringing time this school, like in 1 hour periodical wire, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, it should ring. So you program here, there is a programming done inside, and so after programming, if you put the number of timings, ring bell timing, then on that time this system will drive the mechanical hardware, this is the bell, and this will start ringing. So there is an electronic system here and there is a mechanical system here. Electronic system will drive the mechanical system, and output is output. Output will come in the form of the audio. Audio is to be, ranked, is to be given by this mechanical system. So here's this is mechanical system. Here inside this electronic system. Now I said that you have to put the timing, different timing. On that timing, this electronic bell will ring. So this is the programmed one. Programmed in means there is a software involved. So without software, this complete system is not of only hardware. This complete system is of the combination of the hardware and the software. So this is called embedded system. So software is nothing but a control by set of program within the computer. So what I'm saying that now the first example was the system based on only hardware. Now this example is the system based on electronics, hardware and software both. Another thing is the mechanical systems also. So if you talk about the electronic system, then the first example was based on only hardware. The second example is based on the hardware and software. So maximum electronics products these days are based on hardware and software for a specific application. Whenever there is a specific application, hardware or software, then we say that's the embedded system. So now see that the robotics control, now these days robotics are having many application everywhere in every sectors. So all are controlled by the electronic system design. This is based on the hardware plus software plus for a specific application. Means suppose if robot has to move left or right, then program will be written inside that robot has to move left or right. This kind of smart toys. Smart toys, this is a very our government has given focus on this one. So for toys for these kids, toys for the sometimes toys are also for elders. Here elders are doing the program. There's a chip inside. If you see here the chip, there's electronic circuit inside. Inside this toy, there's electronic circuit. This is a dog, maybe the dog will bark whenever you want. So the smart toy is also best example for the electronic system design. See cruise missiles. These are the missiles. Everything will be guided by the set of programs. Engineer sitting in the room will guide this crew to where to go. It has to go upward or downward. How much angle they have to, in what angle they have to project. Like this, all set of programs written in the computer. So we see the example of electronic system design. Now this is home automation. People want to, sometimes people is outside the home and want now approaching home, coming from different places. So now he wants to switch on the light before he enters inside the room. Then he has control of mobile. He is having every control. He will switch on the light, sound, freeze, heater. If it is a cold time, then heater he can switch on. He can switch on many systems inside the house so that as soon as he enters inside the house, he will get everything on. There is no problem at all. So this kind of thing is called Internet of Things. So Internet of Things based home automation is also best example of electronic system design. See, all things, everything, in shipyard, in everything, the car, bus, train, there's electronic system. Without this, nothing will happen. So electronics is required everywhere. Or first thing, electronics hardware circuit. Second is hardware plus software based circuit. Third, this is called the electronics embedded system design. So these days, embedded circuits are oftenly used, widely used in the market. Without this, nothing will run. So we can say that embedded system is required to learn by the engineers, by even the common man, so that they will at least make a choice. So these are the example of electronic system design. Now, how this system can be designed? What are the design cycle? Suppose you have to design any circuit, then somebody comes to you and you ask that we have to design one circuit. Then your client says that you ask the client that what are the requirements. So you will say that suppose that these are the requirements. You will get the requirements done from the client, and then according to the requirement, this is called specification. You can say in a different way that the behavioral specification. You will get the behavioral specification of the client. According to the behavioral specification of the client, you have to design the system. Now, designing system, first we are designing system on the piece of paper. This is called architectural description. So architecture we design on the piece of the paper. So lots of time we give on the design on the piece of the paper, and then when we understand that now architecture is very good enough, it will work fine, then only we can go for the same designing on the computer. Same designing on the computer is called the PCB design. So I will talk to you on later on what is the PCB design. But when your PCB design is completed, the meaning is that your circuit is working fine, then you're going to complete implement of your system. So after implementing your system, the meaning is that your code is running on the software, then you test it, then operate it, and test it on the you test it according to the specification given by client. If your design is working fine according to the specification given by the client, then you say that your prototype is finished. So after prototyping, when you done your prototyping, then you send it to the market for the mass production. So before mass production, there are lots of things are required. There is a long gap between the prototype and the mass production. There are many things required for going any product for getting into the mass production. So these are the model. In that way, we have to design the system. First, I said you analyze the requirements. After analyzing the requirement, you have to design the system on the piece of the paper, and then the same design can be designed on the computer. That is called the PCB, printed circuit board, PCB design. Then it will be implemented on the any technologies, maybe VLSI, maybe C source code, maybe VC++, maybe VB++. This is called the implementation using the hardware and software both. When everything is done, then we go for testing. And when testing done, then we say that our prototype is done, is completed. Then we send it for the mass production. So we can say that designing electronic product, the main work is to designing electronic board, or you can say that designing electronic wiring board, or you can also say printed wiring board. I will tell you later what is the difference between wiring board and the printed circuit board. So finally, we can say that designing electronic product is having 3 steps. Maybe you have to go for first step or second step. First step is making just electronic board with wiring, with some wires. And third, second, last one is circuit board. So this is called the PCB. The first I said the printed wiring board. See, this is the circuit PCB. This is one PCB, very simple. On the copper board, we have put our ICs, the connecting wires. So difficult. If you ask anyone to debug it, very difficult. Where the wire, where it is connected. So this is called the printed wiring board, where wiring is also done by the simple wires. Only you are putting your component on the copper board, and you connect all the components by the wires. See the complexity. How you can debug whenever there is some problem going on. So to overcome this, we required printed circuit board. Now circuit board is having a different kind of circuit board is having different kind. See here the simple very board you say the fiberglass board. All the interconnects there are holes, and we put all the ICs or resistors or capacitors inside, and you can connect these things by wire also, but the number of wires are less, not like that one. And here this wire also can be reduced by the copper. If you use the only copper wires, copper as a copper board, as a printed circuit board, here see there is no wire at all. So after some time I'll teach you, we'll learn about how this kind of board can be made. Now we come to this point, from wiring board to printed circuit board. That board was for wiring board, where all the complex wires were there. And now there is simple circuit board. You are not seeing the wires at all here. There is no wires. So the meaning is, but there is a wire inside. Means they are printed circuit wires. They are the wires connected, but we are not seeing at all. So this looks fine. This looks very good. In comparison to the printed wiring board, it's a very good wires. Very good, look wise very good. Also, debugging is very, very easy in that kind of system. So now people are using only printed circuit board for all the professional designs. Only printed circuit board. Why? Because it is very less in size. It is of high speed also. And there is no use of connecting of wires inside, so debugging will be easy. Okay, so now we understand that we required the PCB printed circuit board. So what are the steps to follow? I said to make any electronic product, we required to know behavioral specifications from the client. So this is the one block, behavioral specifications. Knowing about the product functionality and conditions. This is the specification. You can say that client doesn't know the electronics. Client only know the behavior. How our system should work. What are the features of our product? Client only knows these things. So in electronics term, we say it is a specification given by the client. Now, according to the specification, I said earlier that we make the product on the piece of paper. When design is completed, we feel that our design will work fine. Then this will be the same design will be designed on the software, and the term is called schematic. Means drawing complete system architecture on the computer program. This is called schematic. Here, if you design the circuit, a complete architecture, if you design, then you will get, you can simulate it, test it, that your design is working or not. You will get to understand that our system will work. If your system doesn't work, then it will not simulate, it will not be simulated. So since your system is not simulated, so you will say that we have to again design or redesign or modify the system. Here you can modify this system design. So in schematic, you have to write a design, you have to design a system, you can modify, simulate it, test it. After testing, when you say that our system is working very fine, then we create a layout. Now creating layout is typical, people understand it's very tough. It's not tough. Something that when you put this circuit on the hardware thing, like the copper plate, that then the design should be printed. So the hardware component and its interconnect on the software program to be printed on the copper plate. The same design, schematic design, is when printed on the circuit copper board, then it is called the layout. Now you will complete the layout. After layout completed, after completion of the layout, you can say that the system is working fine. If system is working fine, then you can say that your prototype is completed. But initial implemented product or hardware for testing is called prototype. So there are many phases for prototype testing also, but you can say that prototype is working fine. When prototype is working fine, then you have to send your prototype for the production. So these are the steps for developing any electronics product. Now something I said, the schematic. First step was schematic. The schematic is having some software. I will tell you later what are the softwares, but one software it is given here, that is a Proteus. In this, see, this part is, this part you can get the ICs. This part you will get the, like here, if you want to make one project, then you have to make a product or design name you can put here. All the devices are here, like in the software. Suppose there is, there is 8051 microcontroller. Then maybe your VLSI IC, maybe your IC of Arduino ICs. Every ICs are put here. In this column there is a you can see the library of ICs are there here. And if you select from here, this side, you select from here and put it here. So circuit will be made here in this part. This is the project part where you can make a circuit. So come down like this one. Suppose there is a 12 volt 1 ampere power supply, 12 volt 1 ampere power supply circuit. I told you in the first second PPT. This suppose you want to design this circuit, then see this part is here. This is the part where all the ICs name are here, and this is part. Suppose if you click here, your IC will see here. So and then in this part you can say that this kind of circuit will be made on this software. So complete system is here. See here, there is one IC. These are the inputs. These are outputs. You don't know at present what are the input, what are the output, but you just see that there are many components and connected by the wires. So this is called schematic. Here you can simulate your design. Here you can simulate your design. If you click on the run button of the software, it will run. Like suppose if it is click, this design is for the IC glowing, but any LED on and off, then LED will be on and off here. Now the same design, I said that PCB, this kind of layout is PCB layout. Everywhere you can see the layout. If you open your mobile, there is a chip inside, and this kind of wire, this kind of lining you can see. If you open your computer and your hardware board, CPU board is having this kind of lining. These are called, layout. This is called layout. This is the layout. This part is for, ICs, where you put your ICs. These are the combination, and this is where IC. This is a component where ICs, IC components put. This is, this complete layout is made of many kind of technical words. These technical words are little later. After some time, I will tell you. These are the pads. These are the traces. This is called pads. This is called pads. These are called traces. Here we can put all your ICs or components on the pads. So I will tell you after some time, but this is the PCB layout. So when you design a PCB layout, your system will generate a Gerber file, and this Gerber file will be, you have to give it to the your manufacturer, who will manufacture this layout on the copper plate, and you will get the complete PCB board. After you get the PCB board, you have to assemble IC on it, like assembled circuits. Like PCB board is just a layout. This kind of thing you can get it. But here, after you get the PCB, this kind of thing, you have to assemble your components here. So soldering will be done by you. So then only you can say that your circuit board is working fine. After doing prototype, after doing assembling and testing, when you complete your assembling process, product assembling process, you test it, then you say that your prototype is done. Like this one. After this prototyping, you can send your product for the mass production. Like this is the prototype one. This is a pulse oximeter, designed and developed by us. This is one prototype. Now we have sent it for the mass production. For mass production also, there are many technologies involved. For that we'll talk later on. Okay. Now till that point we understood only that PCB is required. PCB is required for electronic circuit. Without PCB, you cannot go for the mass production. Even without PCB, sometimes we cannot go for the even simple prototyping also. So now we should understand what is the PCB. Actually, what are the components inside the PCB? So, full form of the PCB is printed circuit board. Printed circuit board is electronic board that connects circuit components like ICs, resistors, passive components, other components on it. So we have to connect all the components on the PCB circuit board. That is called a printed circuit board. Printed circuit board, which we have designed, like layout, we have designed and printed on the copper plate. That is the printed circuit board. On that, there is a component, all the IC component you have to assemble here, like by soldering and all. So this is called printed circuit board. So actually in the PCB, there are they are non-conductive substrate. Like PCB is made of two, three kind of. One is inside the basic layer there is a non-conductive plate. You can say non-conductive substrate. Non-conductive substrate means maybe glass, maybe made of the ceramics, maybe made of plastics. On that there is a copper plate. Copper circuitry board is laid over there. So non-conductive plate. Above that there is a copper plate. Copper plate is is buried over there. So there is a layer of copper circuitry board. So conducting layers are typically made of a thin copper foil. So we can say that above the layer there is a coating of solder mask also. So first thing is substrate of non-conductive substrate. Above that there is a copper plate you can say that copper foil, and above that there is a solder mask. Usually in a green in color, but color can be changed for the different purposes also. And there is a unwanted copper also on this copper plate that can be removed by etching. By etching, suppose there is a unwanted copper, then we can remove that unwanted copper by etching. And by etching means taking out that unusual copper from that. So this is the copper, this is the printed circuit board made of. Now what are the components of the PCB, like parts of the PCB? Parts of the PCB are first the component, any IC components or a component, resistance, capacitance, any passive and active components. Second component are pad. Here is the pad. Pad is where the components are placed. Pad is this part, I will show it later on, where the components are placed, called pad. And traces, these are the traces. The connection between all the pads, like suppose these are pads, these are the pads, and if you connect it by here, then there is a wire inside. You can see the wire. Pads are the wire, you can say. Earlier, the first wiring kind of PCB, you were saying that, and they for connecting two components there are wires. But here you can say that for connecting two components, pads are required, and the traces are connecting two pads. If you are connecting two pads, then it's called the traces. And I will come here, the three parts I will tell you little later on: bias, top layer and bottom layer. Bias is for a single layer PCB, bias is not required. But suppose there is a 2-layer, 3-layer PCBs, then bias is something like traces between the two layers. Okay, so come here. So traces connects pad together. Traces are essentially the wiring of the PCB. I said already. So what are the bias? Bias are pad with a plated hole connecting traces from one layer to other layers. So now you will have a question that why many layers? I will tell you after some time the why many layers are required for connecting for the PCB. Now we come here, the solder mask. I told you sometime later on that earlier that for protecting copper traces from outer layers, solder masks are required for protecting copper traces on the outer layers from corrosion. Sometimes corrosive materials are happened on the copper plates. So we have to mask that kind of thing. The solder, this is called solder mask. So this is required. Like when there are traces on the complete copper plate, there are traces, there are pads. So after the traces, rest part of the traces should be solder mask, because sometimes it will become conductive. So that is not required. Conductive should be only the traces, only the pads. See, outer part of the traces in the pads should not be conductive. Otherwise, your complete circuit will be broken out. For that we need a solder mask, the masking of that kind of solder. Now, other things like top layer, metal layer, silk screen, these are not good for not required for the basic kind of engineers. But we can understand a top metal layer where we connect the components. Where we connect the component is called top metal layer. Where we connect the traces, when we connect the traces, this is called the bottom layer, metal layer. On the bottom metal layer, there is very few components required. On the top, in the same way, in the top metal layer, very few traces you can find it out. So top layer is having where the many traces are put. and on the top layer or top middle layer where the pads are, actually most of the components are reside on the top layer. Now silk screen. So printing of the silk screen to the component location is called the silk screen, and this is mainly silk screen. If you see the different parts of PCB, you cannot find out the numbers of the PCB. Silk screen is used for the designers. Designer go for silk screen, find it out where is the number of the IC, where the input output the ICs. That is required only for the designer. Designer knows the silk screen part of the PCB. Now there was one question maybe asked that why PCB are green? So PCBs are green. We can understand that due to the solder mask which protects the copper circuits printed on the fiberglass core to prevent the short circuits. We required the PCB. Color of the solder green gives both its appearance. This is not always green. It may be blue also. It may be some other color also. So there is no reason why it is green, but we can just only say that for soldering mask, for solder mask, we required we required PCB to be green. Now one more question can be asked that why copper is used in the PCB. Already we know that copper is a conductive material. Second is copper is excellent working on the thermal kind of thing also, like a thermal conductor also. So sometimes if suppose the environment temperature is high, it will protect you. So that is why copper is used, because of its thermal conductivity as well as it is a conductive material. Now come to some design part. Like if you design the PCB, then there are many companies. I have figured out some best companies these days. People say that the Altium Designer. Second is a Proteus, OrCAD. OrCAD is the very old tool and very well used in the market these days. So Proteus, OrCAD, Autodesk Eagle, PCB Artist, Advanced Circuits, Altiboard. These are the PCB design tools. Any design tool you can for learner. You can start with the OrCAD. You can start with the Proteus. These two things are very important to understand, and there are many free tools also. Like KIDE EDA, Design Spark, PCB Web Designer, Express PCB Plus. These are the free tools also. You can go and learn very easily. They will tell you all the steps how to use that one. Okay, so PCB design steps are what? For PCB design, for initial design, you can design or redesign. Then you have to, after designing PCB, you can print it on the PCB board. So you can say that you have to manufacture or assemble. Manufacturing PCB means assembling component on the PCB. So assembling component of the PCB may be the manual one or may be the automated one. Automated one means like there are many machines for that. So for lower kind of production, for semi production or lower kind of production facilities, manual kind of manufacturing is being done. But for high kind of production like PCB, computer circuit board or mobile circuit board, these are the high volume production. This is being done by the machines. I will tell you after some time what are the machines required for PCB manufacturing and assembly by the machines. So after doing assembling on the copper board, you have to go for the testing, and there are many testing steps that you have to follow. And in the testing, if you see that you find that you are failed in testing, then you have to again go for redesign of the circuits, again assembling and fabrication. So you should not go for assembling large volume production before prototype. That's why we say that for large volume production, we should go only for the first prototype production. In the first product production, you can go for manual kind of production. You can go for soldering, manual soldering. There's no need of machines for soldering the component on the PCB board. So when we are confirmed by manual soldering that your product is working fine, then you say that the PCB is done, prototype is done. When your prototype is done, then only you can decide to go either for the manual manufacturing or for the machine type of manufacturing. Okay, so sometime back I told you the PCB type. There are many kinds of PCB. It is called a single-sided PCB, double-sided PCB, multi-layer. Multi-layer means 3 layers, 4 layers, 5 layers, 10 layers, up to 10 layers PCBs are there. Something called a rigid PCB, flexible PCB, rigid flex PCB, high frequency PCB, and aluminum backed PCB. So I will go a little at sometimes what are the single, we'll invest some time on single PCB types. So what is this single type PCB? Okay, these are the symbol type PCB. In the single sided PCB, there are one layer of substrate. Substrate means what? Non-conductive substrate, like any kind of glass material or base material. So you can see here, this is the substrate, this is the substrate, and upon the substrate there is a copper layer, and upon the copper layer there is a green mask solder mask. These are the green solder masks. These are green solder masks. These are green solder masks. And these are the pads. I told you sometime before that they are pads. Connecting pads are called traces. These are traces. These are traces. Okay, these are the traces. So if you make a single side PCB, the single side PCB, single layer PCB will be made of substrate, non-conductive substrate. Upon that there is a copper layer, and upon that this green solder mask. Now you come to double-sided PCB. The double-sided PCB, the substrate is a green area is substrate part. This is the substrate part. Both sides substrate part, double-sided. So upper side and lower side. So upper side will be having after substrate there is a green copper layer. This is the copper layer. Upon that there is substrate. There is solder mask. The same way the bottom side also the same thing. This part is having copper layer and the and this solder mask. So this is double side PCB. So double side PCB means that any kind of design, middle level design is of double sided PCB. Normally single sided PCB is of no use these days, very less use. People use it wide. Double side PCB is widely used in the market. Okay, so now you understand everything about the double sided PCB. Now come to the rigid PCB. Rigid PCB is rigid. Something like this one, computer PCB board. Some computer ka circuit board. Circuit with a rigid PCB. Where rigid PCB, there is difficulties on reshaping and bending. So your PCB will not bend by simply doing bending. So it's very hard. This is called as rigid PCB. So since it is hard, inflexible during the construction, the FR is called a stiffener. It's called a stiffener. Is used to increase the rigidity. Some stiffener FR4 is a stiffener which is used for making PCBs to be rigid. So stiffener is used for rigidity, for making any PCB rigid. So example is motherboard of a PCB. These are flexible PCBs. there is a very good, very important terms these days, flexible electronics. So in the flexible PCB, you can bend it on. There are, these days many, PAM tops. There are many PAM tops and laptops. You can just bend it on. If you bend it, it will become something like pocket kind of laptop. So in that, PCBs are, flexible PCB. So you see, there is no wire inside. These are the wires. You can fold it on. Big system will be the small system by folding it to PCB. These days, this kind of flexible PCB is required for making your system very, compact. For making your PCB very compact, flexible PCBs are required. So this kind of thing, this kind of flexible PCBs are used, very well used in aviation, in the flights and all. In aviation kind of thing, in satellite communication, flexible PCBs are used. High frequencies PCB. High frequency PCB is actually used for satellite communication. The transmission between the two is widely used in the involving special signal transmission between two objects. It is available in frequency range of 500 megahertz to 2 gigahertz, and is an ideal choice of mobile, microwave, radio frequency, and high speed design applications. So this is required. High frequency PC for higher design kind of, for higher signal transmissions. Now we come to the type of, now this technology wise PCB. Technology wise, like till that time we understood that these are the PCB, these are the part of the PCBs, single layer, double layer, rigid kind of layer. Now there are two types of PCB. One is called a surface based on surface mount technology, and second is based on the deep technologies. Many circuits, these days, more than 60% design engineers, design companies work on deep technologies, where packages are there, dual inline, deep means dual inline packages. That kind of is little big. As a layman, we can say that deep kind of technologies of PCB is little big PCB, where you understand many things. You can get your IC, little bigger ICs, okay, and you can assemble very easily by your hand. So maximum people are working on this deep technology kind of PCB, but more than 70% kind of professional designers, professional companies, like if you open your mobile, you will see this kind of PCB. This is called surface mount PCB. The surface mount PCB, the beauty of surface mount PCB, the same IC size will be very less. You will not understand that what is resistors or what. So this is the IC size will be very less. Resistance size will be very less. It's very point kind of. So so common differentiation you can say between the deep kind of technology PCB and surface mount PCB is surface mount technology PCB will be very less in size, component wise also and PCB circuit wise also, and because this is a very less size, maximum companies are working on surface mount technologies also. And the deep kind of technologies, deep technology PCB, medium engineers, medium kind of skilled engineers, or you can say the medium companies, where size is not very problematic, are not problems. Like size, even if we have a large size, no problem at all. If we have a less size, no problem at all. Then this kind of design, for that we use deep technology components. So advice is that initially you should go for deep technology PCB, because assembling is very easy. You can understand the circuit very well, but in surface mount technology, assembling is not easy. Even tools are very of high cost, and for understanding deep technology PCBs, it should be used first. Then only you can go for surface mount technology PCB. Now, so now we understood that what are the type of the PCB and what kind of technology are involved in the PCB manufacturing. Now we should understand the how PCB can be manufactured by the machines. So if you start manufacturing PCB, I told you very frankly that component that PCB is required. Copper plate is required. If you cut, first thing is you have to cut your PCB according to the size you have decided in the design. So cutting PCB. So for cutting PCB, there is a cutting and cutting PCB machine. This is a cutting PCB machine, and then you can drill. This is a drilling machine. Here, multi-layer fabricate PCB can be fabricated. This is the machine. This is called a multi-layer fabricator, where you just put your material inside. It will manufacture your copper. You manufacture your PCB according to the design you have given inside. And this is the machine for testing, inspection, that it is inbuilt. There is a computer, so you can put here. You can check that your design is working fine or not. This is the cutting machine. According to your size, you can put your large PCB. For high volume production, you just put your PCB inside, it will cut you. Manually, if you cut, it will take 10-15 minutes, but in the machine, it can cut hundreds of PCB in 1 minute. Now, one thing I'm telling you that instead of going for circuit design on machine, you can go for a manual PCB design also. So this is a very simple step. You can use this simple step. Suppose you have a design and you have to produce 50 design or 20 design per day. Then instead of going for manufacturing by the machines, you can go for manufacturing by hand also. So for that there is a process. What is the process? So for manual PCB design, the step number 1 is prepare layout. You have already prepared layout on the circuit, on the computer. The same layout you have to take a printout on the one OHP sheet. OHP sheet is there. On that, using a laser printer, you just put OHP sheet in the laser printer. It will print your circuit here like this one. So after printing, this is the layout. After printing, so second step is cut your copper board. Suppose you have printed a circuit on the OHP sheet. Now suppose your size of the copper is 4 centimeter by 3 centimeter. Then you cut your copper in this size, and second step is you have to just crush by steel wool. Remove sometimes the copper plate is copper oxide. So if you rub the copper by the steel wool, then it will be removes the top oxide layer of the copper. So there and as well as the photoresist also. So you have to second step to rub the copper plate by steel wool. Second step is that you place your OHP sheet, layout OHP sheet on the copper port, printed put your like this one. Here we have put the same design layout on the copper plate, and it should be, opposite kind of. Put your circuit opposite kind of, so that it will, on the front side, it should go for. Next step is that the OSP sheet, the circuit we have put here, put iron on it. The meaning of putting iron on this is that after getting heat, the circuit will be stick on this copper plate. So put sometimes like 10-15 minutes iron on the OSP sheet, on the copper plate. After some time, if you open it up your copper, then all the circuits will be printed on it, on the copper plate. Now the circuit is printed on the copper. Sometimes it will get stuck. So you have to put the copper into the ferric chloride solution. Put some water in one bowl, and 2-3 spoons of the ferric chloride solution powder you put in the water, and put your circuit copper plate into the water for 30 minutes. After putting 30 minutes, the FeCl3 reacts with the unmasked copper and removes the unwanted copper from the PCB. This process, I told you earlier also, this process is called etching, where unwanted copper is removed, and you will get your copper, like copper plus ferric chloride solution. It will give you copper chloride and iron outside. So sometimes it takes more time. So suppose this is not going out, so put some time more your copper inside the water, inside the ferric chloride solution. So after taking out of the PCB from the water, you have to wash it out. If you wash it out, then you will find that still some part is sticking. So you can use your steel wool, rubbing on it. After rubbing on it, you will get your PCB like this one. So this is the real one. This is the real one, the PCB you wanted. Okay. So this kind of PCB you can manufacture. Now you have a complete PCB board. Only copper area is there. Okay. Now you can drill by drilling machine on the pads, so that you can make a hole on this one. On the pad you have to make a hole. So on the simple drilling machine, maybe your hand drilling machine also is okay. By using hand drilling machine, you can have to drill on the pads. So you have to drill on the pads, and then after drilling on the pads, making holes, then you have to solder your components. So suppose there is one IC. I gave you one example of one 12 volt 1 ampere, 12 volt 1 ampere power supply. So you can put your transformer, you can put your 7812, your capacitors, and all the components inside, and you get your PCB, complete PCB. So I said that if your circuit, if you want to make your circuit working fine for medium kind of production, low kind of production, or you can say for learners, manual manufacturing of PCB is very important to understand the process. Everyone should start this one first, for making a PCB by hand. Making a PCB by hand, manufacturing of PCB by hand, assembling of components on the PCB by hand is very important initially, so that you can get the confidence of making PCB, your circuit product, electronic circuit. Okay, now the PCB fabrication. So PCB, we have just fabricated PCB by hand. Now the PCB fabrication by the machine. So by the machines, again the process is same. I told you the 7 kind of processes. where you have to first layout, you have to make a layout on the OHP sheet. Here layout will be done by the machine. So this is called laminated. So this kind of mechanical frustration is required. The same process is being done by the machines also. So same, imagine desired layout on the copper clad laminates, etching or removing excess of copper from inner layouts to remove traces, creating PCB layers taken up by laminating. This thing, drilling and holes, this is the process which where I already told you by the hand kind of manufacturing. Same thing is being done by machines also. This is called a fabrication using machine. So same thing is there, like this solder mask inkjet printer. You have to take a printout of the solder mask of complete PCB by using inkjet printer. This is the inkjet printer. Now solder mask coating will be done by this machine, and the laminator, the printing to PCB lamination will be printed by this machine. And for UV light exposure required for masking, unmasking, so this is required here. Now drilling machine, this is drilling machine. This is the machine for multi-layer fabrication. This is the machine for cutting the PCB. So actually, I said in a very simple way, these are the tools required, PCB manufacturing tools required, but the cost of the tools is very high. Cost of the PCB manufacturing machines are very high, not less than 4 crores. If you have 4 crore rupees, minimum, I'm saying minimum 4 crore rupees. If you want to set up a very large infrastructure for PCB manufacturing, then it requires minimum 50 crores for PCB manufacturing center. So that is why many Indian companies are not going for PCB manufacturing. But one thing I'm saying you, the picture is not like the earlier now. These days, for 10 years, there are many companies in India started their manufacturing in PCB manufacturing. Companies in Bangalore, companies in Ahmedabad, companies in Delhi, in Pune, there are many companies, more than 100 companies nowadays in PCB manufacturing. The meaning is that India is also now started PCB manufacturing. The meaning is that again India started hardware manufacturing of their electronic products. Okay, so after PCB manufacturing, you need, I use the term called prototype. So prototype, how prototype is to be built? Prototype of, prototype, saying no, prototype is what? One is the electronic circuit that you already make by the process I told you earlier. But prototype of mechanical system, this is required. For prototype mechanical system required, there are very big machines for that. But for prototype, if you want to go for showing others to one pieces, then you can go for 3D printer. 3D printer is available in the market these days, very well used also. So the price of 3D printer is also not of high cost. It comes around 1.5 lakhs rupees printer. So you can buy this system, 3D printer of good companies, and then design your at least small kind of pieces, mechanical pieces. You can design, you can print it from here. For that also, you need to require a mechanical design engineer who will design your mechanical system on the computer. This is called CAD, mechanical computer aided design software is required. So using the computer aided design software, you can design your prototype and then you can take print it. So by using this machine, when you take print of your system, electronic system, by using 3D printer, then test it. If your system design is working fine on prototype, after doing 3D printer, after using by using 3D printer, then and then only you should go for the mass manufacturing. Or and I say also one thing, that if you have requirement of very less requirement of the client, where price doesn't matter, then you can go for, if you have a low volume of production, you can use 3D printer also. The price of 3D printer, if you buy the, if you buy the 3D printer of 1.5 lakh rupees, the cost will be decreased. If you give someone to take printout, 3D printer printout, then cost will be high. But if you invest some time, some money in the 3D by buying 3D printer, then it will be good. Price will be less, because just you have to put your some plastic component inside, and you will get your printer, your design, 3D design, system design. And I say that price will be not it will be very less. You can say very less. But for the mass manufacturing, you should go for the process called die. If you want to go for the mass manufacturing, then you have to send your design to the mechanical engineering labs. Mechanical engineering labs. This machine is called injection molding machine. The same design, that 3D printer design we have made, you have to send it to the for the designer, for the manufacturer, using who will be using injection molding machine or make a die. So anything you have to produce in the market, a die is to be designed and manufactured. Die means, like, this is the hardware kind of thing, mechanical hardware kind of thing. It's made of the irons maybe. So this die, when you manufacture your die, then only you can go for the mass manufacturing. So the cost of making die is also high. So for mass manufacturing, if you want to go for mass manufacturing of 10,000 pieces, more than 10,000 pieces, then you have to go for making a die. After, without a die, should not your mass manufacturing should not be done. Will not be done. Why? Because for 3D printer takes much time. Maybe sometimes one piece will take 10 hours time. It's not good. One piece will take 10 hours time. One piece will take 8 hours time in 3D printer. But here in the mass, with the injection molding machine, one piece will take hardly 5 minutes, hardly 10 minutes. In 1 hour, you will get 30 pieces or 100 pieces. If you have double kind of die, there are two kind of die comes, double-sided and two-sided, double die and single die. Double die system will cut you, 1,000 kinds of pieces in one time, in 1,000 pieces in one day. So for mass manufacturing, you should go for the making first a die, and then put the same die in the same design in the die, for manufacturing of the of a system for maybe of higher volume, 10,000 pieces, 1 lakh pieces, 10 lakh pieces. Okay, so this one is the mass manufacturing for the box also. There is a plastic box, corrugated box die manufacturing machine. Die cutting manufacturing machine is there. So this kind of things, system requires crores of amount, like maybe between 50 crores to 100 crores. We have to buy this die manufacturing injection molding machine and other machines also, so that we can go for the mass manufacturing. So you should not go for the mass manufacturing by if you are a small company. The idea is you just give your design to the mass manufacturing company who manufactures. They will take some money for piece prices. Maybe 10, 20 rupees, 30 rupees. That depends upon your design, what kind of design you have. So the bottom line is that for prototyping you must use 3D printer first. Second, if you want to go mass manufacturing, then only you should go for the die manufacturing. Otherwise, if you have a volume of only 4, 5, 10 pieces, then we advise to go for 3D printer kind of printing your system only. But one thing I am taking very true, that if India has to become a superpower in hardware, superpower all around the world, then India must enter into the hardware manufacturing. And this is a dream of India. So India started also. So I feel that the engineers should learn the manufacturing technologies. Indian engineers should learn the PCB design technology. Engineers should learn the circuit design technology. Engineers should learn the many tools like tools of the VLSI, tools of embedded systems, tools of the softwares. If you learn, then only go for you can go for the mass manufacturing, and then only India will become, will beat China, you can say, and you can say that India will produce its own product. You can sell the product in the market of different countries. Then and unless you make your made in India dreams come true, India will not be a manufacturing giant. Unless India become manufacturing giant, India will not be a superpower of the world. So I will say every engineers to learn these technologies first. India is in the stage of learning at present. So engineers should learn. There are lots of markets. There are lots of companies are coming up in India from different countries. There is a wave of Make in India move. There is a wave of Made in India move. In Make in India move also means many different other countries, manufacturing companies are coming to India. They are starting their manufacturing industry in India. They will require thousands and 10,000s of engineers, experts of Indian engineers. Sometimes back, Samsung started mobile manufacturing in Noida. Other manufacturing are also being done. Semiconductors fab labs are also being implemented in Hyderabad, Ahmedabad. So in electronics field per se, there are lots of requirements. Only we are lacking in expertise and technologies. So to gain expertise, you can learn many types of courses. We can in our company also we can teach this kind of technologies on where you can come to our company and learn the technologies. So for that you have to talk to us on the website and by sending an emails. So these are our addresses and the emails. You can send us the email, and you will pave the path how you can build your career in electronic system design and manufacturing. Thank you. On the chat box. So there are no questions, sir.
Oh, no questions will come, I think. But one question, practical way or in a new world, where we are, where I can see that in everything you see that electronics part is coming in our way. Even you can see that today the automatic curtains and automatic door control, automatic everything is that is coming. So I think there is a hell lot of opportunity in the market. So can you guide us and tell me something about that? Where I think we can use those things in our general life, and what are the opportunities open in the market? what are the dimension where we can do. There are a lot of things what we can do, so that it can give an idea to the audiences that might be they have not thought that we can do something in this aspects. So that is the market side. क्या क्या कर सकते हैं?
इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स के फील्ड में छोटे फर्स्ट थिंग ये कि छोटे छोटे सर्किट बनाया जाए पहले. इनिशियल इंजीनियर्स जो बीटेक पास करते हैं तो लोग प्रोजेक्ट बनाते हैं पर प्रोजेक्ट पर काम नहीं करते हैं.
ओके.
तो प्रोजेक्ट पर नहीं काम करते हैं तो छोटी छोटी जो चीजें हैं उसको बनाते नहीं हैं. लाइक स्मॉल सर्किट्स भी, लाइक मैंने एक बताया कि एक टाइमर कंट्रोल का कोई सिस्टम बनाना है. लाइक वेरी सिंपल एग्जांपल है कि आपको फ्रिज में जो सर्किट लगता है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सर्किट, फ्रिज में ठंडा करने के लिए, गर्म करने के लिए, लोग को बड़ा इजी लगता है, बहुत इजी सर्किट है. लेकिन किसी इंजीनियर्स को बोले तो उसमें बहुत डिफिकल्टीज होती है, उसे पता ही नहीं होता. तो एक बहुत छोटा एग्जांपल है कि फ्रिज का सर्किट बनाना है थर्मल कंट्रोल करने के लिए, ठंडा करने के लिए, गर्म करने के लिए. तो वो सर्किट बना के पहले तो सबसे पहला काम क्या होता है कि ये जानना कि हमारा फ्रिज जो है को कितना अधिक ठंडा करना है, कितना नीचे जा सकता है, कितना गर्म करना है. तो पहला चीज जो मैंने कहा था कि बिहेवियर स्पेसिफिकेशन, आप जो अपना प्रोडक्ट बनाने जा रहे हैं उसका बिहेवियर क्या होगा, ये तो आपका अपना है. जो करना चाहता है आप करें, ठीक है. आप करना चाहते हैं कि फ्रिज का टेम्परेचर -25 से अधिक नहीं जाए, तो आपको डिजाइन करना पड़ेगा कि टेम्परेचर आपका -25 से अधिक नहीं जाए. आपको चाहिए कि टेम्परेचर +25 से नहीं जाए, +25 से ऊपर नहीं जाए. तो आपने ऐसा सर्किट बनाया कि पहले -25 से लेकर के +25 के बीच में टेम्परेचर उसका वैरी करता रहे, ठीक है. तो ऐसा फ्रिज आपने बनाया. तो उसका डिजाइन पहले पेपर पर बनाना पड़ेगा, और बना करके जब को लगेगा कि हमारा सर्किट ठीक है, ये बन सकता है, तो मैंने कहा था कि तब आप उसको सर्किट को डिजाइन कीजिएगा, पीसीबी पे बनाएंगे उसका सॉफ्टवेयर. अब देखिए, एक डिजाइन इंजीनियर होता है जो सर्किट डिजाइन सिर्फ करता है खाली पेपर पर. मैं इंजीनियर हूँ, मैं कंप्यूटर काम नहीं करता हूँ. मैं सिर्फ आपको एक कंप्लीट सर्किट बना के दे दूंगा. जैसे किसी कंपनी में प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर जो होता है उसका काम क्या होता है कि सर्किट बना के दे देना. लोगों को बुलाता है, कहता है देखो ये सर्किट मैंने बना दिया, कंप्लीट सर्किट बना दिया, और तुमको एक को काम करना है क्या है, पीसीबी डिजाइन बनाना है. एक इंजीनियर उसका पीसीबी डिजाइन बनाता है, दूसरा इंजीनियर क्या करता है, हार्डवेयर इंजीनियर उसकी असेंबलिंग करता है, तीसरा इंजीनियर क्या करता है कि वो उसकी टेस्टिंग करता है, चौथा इंजीनियर क्या करता है, उसकी क्लबिंग करता है, पांचवा जो करता है कि प्रोटोटाइप बनाता है कंप्लीट की, तब टेस्टिंग करता है. मतलब एक प्रोडक्ट के डिजाइन में 5 टाइप के इंजीनियर्स लगते हैं, और पांचों टाइप का इंजीनियरिंग स्किल बहुत टफ है. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, मैंने कह दिया बहुत इजी वे में, लेकिन एक्चुअली बहुत एक्सपर्टीज की जरूरत है.
नहीं, ये तो द होल इकोसिस्टम होता है. एक व्हाट आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट कि अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट कुछ भी बनाना हो तो सबसे पहले तो शुरू होता है द होल प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल एक्चुअली स्टार्ट इज लाइक दैट. फर्स्ट एनीबॉडी हु सी द प्रॉब्लम, ये प्रॉब्लम है, ये प्रॉब्लम कहीं दिखा उसको, देन ही थिंक ऑफ द सॉल्यूशंस, ये सॉल्यूशंस हो सकता है. then comes to the part that where it get designed and everything, that the 3-4 type of engineers works and reach to the complete prototype. फिर then होती है कि then whether marketability, whether either marketable or not, then it comes to the business end when the marketability comes. So the idea is that ki it's a whole part of a cycle from ideations to consumer. When it reaches to consumer, where the business is also involved, there are lot of processes, lot of steps, and lot of people, expert of different domain is required. But the idea today is, which what I can understand from the business end where we are, is that a decade ago it was very difficult to find those kind of a thing. But as of now, that there are all kind of a things are available in the market, very easily available. You have a technology, you can find out those people, you can collaborate. So the idea is that you have to be very enthusiastic to find out where the problem is and think of that what solution can be, and then convert it into the product, and then see that whether it is marketable or not, make it marketable. So the idea is that it's a teamwork where you can all get together. And I think you are the right person. If anybody who has any ideas can get in touch with you, you can guide them that who can do what. And you can connect to the people also who can help them in a ideation, who can help in a prototyping, who can help in the marketing, who can help in the business development and all these things. So the idea is that if you think, and these are the real core thing for this country, which is required as of now, if you wanted to stand as a country, because otherwise we will stand as a consumer only. As of now, if the people are trading the goods, we are a consumer country. So we should become a self-reliant country, and that is required, whether every component should meet. I think that is the main takeout which also is there from you. And you are helping the people that majority of part, that how it can be sold, what you can do. And that I think there is a fair idea that people have got it here. So any questions if is there?
Yes, tell me. In initial phase for engineers, I should suggest first to go for हार्डवेयर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, मतलब एक सोल्डरिंग पेस्ट लीजिए, सोल्डरिंग आयरन लीजिए, पहले उसी की प्रैक्टिसिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. सोल्डरिंग आयरन से 2 वायर कैसे कनेक्ट करना है, कोई किसी कंपोनेंट 2 आईसीज को कैसे कनेक्ट करना है वायर से, है ना, ये इसकी प्रैक्टिसिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. और मैक्सिमम लोग इसी में फंसते हैं. अच्छा, दूसरा क्या है कि वो गलती सोल्डर कर देते हैं, एक सोल्डर से दूसरे सोल्डर में टच हो जाता है तो आपकी सर्किट शॉर्ट सर्किट हो जाती है. जानते हैं, अच्छा इंजीनियर मिलना भी, हार्डवेयर इंजीनियर मिलना इतना आसान नहीं है. वो बहुत उसमें मतलब बहुत अटेंशन खोजता है. मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में बहुत अटेंशन खोजता है. और उसके बाद people are there. Yeah.
I think Rakhi ji is asking some question in a chat box actually.
Yeah.
Some question from Rakhi's end.
What is the question?
Can you type the question, because I am not able to see the chat box. I think this is the chat box.
The question is, sir, wish to ask whether such workshops are also being organized in the state to learn or enhance skill for further studies. Yes, Rakhi, you can come to us if you want to learn, any hardware technologies. You can work to us. You can contact us. We can organize any number of workshops on the hardware technologies.
There is also one problem which I think normally see that I have faced when I was a student. Normally what happens that as you rightly said that आप स्टार्ट तो करो, आप पहले कुछ सोच करके बनाओ, सोल्डरिंग स्टार्ट करो, एक प्रोटोटाइप बनाओ, गड़बड़ होएगा फिर देन आप करोगे. So that is good, but एक problem which I think which we have faced in our generation and in this generation after 15 years or 20 years, you can say that down the line, that problem is not that much. And the problem is that what you do. I mean, see, there should be something in your mind that what I should do. The ideation. हमारे पास पहले आइडिएशन होता ही नहीं था, कुछ काम ही नहीं होता था कि क्या करें, कैसे करें. अभी बहुत आइडियाज हैं, because you can see into the Google, you can see everywhere that you will get 100 of ideas at what you can do. So the ideas are there. Think of, start working on that do mistakes.
Yes, do mistakes. Yeah. और जब तक मिस्टेक्स नहीं होंगे तब तक अच्छी सर्किट बनेगी नहीं. मिस्टेक्स
take a guide. I think that Vibhuti ji is there. Take a guidance from him, and you will get all the supports. I think that what I can believe, because I am working with him and I can know that we are working on a very, very project where we are trying to transform the whole handicraft segment. So he can guide you properly.
And I tell everyone that हम लोग तो उसी के लिए हैं. हम लोग तो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स फील्ड में मास्टरी के लिए ही है. हम लोग इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स प्रोडक्ट ही बनाते हैं और हमारा खाना पीना सब इसी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स से ही चलता है. हमारा इंटरेस्ट भी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में ही है. तो इस फील्ड में किसी भी टेक्नोलॉजी का कोई प्रॉब्लम हो, कोई आइडिएशन हो, कुछ भी हो तो जरूर आए, हमारे पास मिलें और हम आपके आइडिया को इम्प्लीमेंट भी करेंगे.
Yes, अब तो fortunately electronic is everywhere. अब तो when you are sipping a coffee and in a coffee mug you are getting some stirrer and all these things and automatically. So now there is a huge scope of creating products, making business out of it. Because once you have learned एक बड़ा सिंड्रोम होता था 25 years back that when you have learned, then you have to do the job, you have to get money. Now that barrier has ended. Now
Yes,
you can start your own career.
Correct.
You can start doing something. You can, and that will be help to you also. You will become independent. It will be very, very satisfying also. And the most important part is that India needs this.
Yes, yes. और एक और बात है कि आइडिएशन से पहले जब आपके मन में कोई आइडिया आए तो उसका प्रूफ पहले ले लें। बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आइडिया आपका ठीक है कि नहीं, तो सिंपली पहले गूगलिंग करें। आजकल तो बहुत अच्छा हो गया है कि लोग पहले गूगलिंग कर ले। गूगलिंग कीजिए कि आपका आइडिया पहले ठीक है कि नहीं, या आपके आइडिया को किसी ने अडॉप्ट तो नहीं कर लिया है पहले से ही। इसके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आप गूगलिंग कर लें।
Whether the time is right or whether you are late. I think that if you are late, then you are working on a junk.
ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और दूसरा बात है,
you can help in this also to the if anybody can come, you can help in this also. So
that is why we are we are becoming a technical powerhouse. Like if you have an idea, you can come to us. We can implement it for you. Or if you have an idea, you can make your own design. If you want get some help from us, we can help it from you. Help it to you also.
Fair enough. It was very enlightening session. Any more question? So I think as of now, till now, so I think we should wrap up this and with your permission. So let's wrap it up. Thank you everybody for joining, and I hope it was a very good and informative session for you. And any questions, you can connect. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.